Okay, now let's add a delete method. So for delete also, to delete, okay, to delete in this, let me duplicate this and change it to delete method. So now when I delete this one, hit 1 and delete, okay, it should delete the record. Right now, since we don't have any method that is matching to delete, it won't work. Okay, so to write the delete method, what we need to do is, let's just copy else if the method is delete. Okay, we get this ID and here it will be a delete method and same ID that we pass. Okay, now it should delete the record when we call to-dos with delete of one record, first ID. Okay, right now we have 3 records with 1, 2, 3 IDs. Let's delete the first one. Okay, let me cancel this one. Okay, now I'm deleting the first record. So now the record got deleted. Again I'm returning the deleted record. That's why we were able to see this particular delete content here, the deleted record. Now let's go to the table, or let's hit this to-dos and try to fetch. Now if you see, first record got deleted. There are only 2 records. For the confirmation, let's refresh here. In the database, there are only 2 records. This is how you can delete it. Okay. Now let's focus on how we can create a record. Okay, post record. Okay, now let me just duplicate this one and change it to post. Okay, the post should have a JSON body. Okay, now we don't have an API to run this, so let me create this. Since post API, okay, since post API, it will have only until to-dos. Okay, we pass the record as part of the request body. So since there is no ID passed here, so for that reason it will go to this particular class. Okay, now else. Okay, now if the method is post, okay, now what we need to do is from the request we need to get hold of the parameters. Okay, right now what parameters that we have? So ID is auto generated, created it is auto generated. Okay, why they are auto generated? Because in the schema I said default auto increment, default now it will take the current timestamp. So for that reason all I need to set is only the name and username. Okay, to do name and username. So right now the name and username, only these 2 fields I need. Okay, that I can get from request body. Since this is a post call, I'll get these 2 properties from the request body, and here to post a record all we need to do is create. Okay, within this we need to pass the data. Okay, to pass the data I need to pass these 2. Since ID and created it properties are going to be auto generated. Okay, now post request is ready. Okay, now let's create a record using this postman. Okay, now I'm creating a record here. I'll just say go to movies with kid. Okay, let's check. Invalidation, why? Okay, now when I hit it, okay, now if you see ID 4 and the record got created. Now let's go back to get call and fetch it. Now if you see the fourth record, we received it. Even in the table, let's refresh, and you can see there is one more record created, or the one that we just created, go to movies. Okay, so this is how you can create a record. Okay, now the last one is how we can post the record. Okay, so put the record. Okay, the last one is how to put the record. Okay, to put the record, again, let me just duplicate this one. Let's go to put. So when I put the record, I want to pass this ID. At the same time, in the body, I want to pass the updated values. Okay, right now, let's get this. Let's get this second record. Okay, I want to update this second record. Okay, these two, and it is put. Okay, I'm adding these two. I'm changing it to okay, go to grocery. I'm changing it to go to library. And for first record, okay. Oh, there is no first record. Okay, let's do it for the second record in the put. Right now, since we don't have a method, it won't work. Okay, now let's add the put method here. Okay, else if. Okay, now in this, I'll say put method. Of course, I'm going to get the ID from here. Okay, once I get the ID, I need to update. This will be update method, and within this, along with where condition, I need to set a data to update. Okay, so what I want to update, this will be part of the request, and again I'll get the from the body, I'll get the name and the username. Okay, these two we are going to update. Okay, I'll pass like this. Okay, now since there is a put method, it will update these two values for this particular ID, whatever the ID that is passed. Okay, now let's validate this. I have a put method for the number 2 record. So when I hit the number 2, right now go to grocery and Shiva. Okay, after I put, it should return this. Okay, let's save this. Now it is successful. Let me check the database. Okay, now it is changed to go to library, US Learning Hub. Okay, and also let's get the same record and see this is updated. Now you see it is updated. Okay, this is how you can write the API routes in Next.js. Okay, so basically let's try to recap. So all we need is a database connection. Okay, for that I used a Prisma client. So I added the URL and created a table. Okay, it is already there in the PostgreSQL. Since I'm using Prisma Studio, I'm able to directly see it on the browser. Okay, it should be there in the PostgreSQL table also. Let me open the pgadmin. Now if you see the table, so the to-dos table is here. Okay, and when I see it, there are 3 records. Okay, that are properly matching. Okay, this Prisma Studio is one more additional thing. Instead of connected to database, directly we can see it here. Okay, that is the advantage of it. Okay, the same replica of the database. Okay, same replica of the database. Okay, once we have the table ready, Okay, all the changes. So the route, as per Next.js, all the routes should go under pages under API folder. Okay, since this is a to-dos table, I created a folder with to-dos, and if I hit any URL with API and to-dos, it will go to its index file and look for that method. And if I pass API, to-dos and some property, okay, it will go to this particular file. Okay, this is how the routing works in Next.js. Okay, I hope you understood. If you have any questions, ping me or message or comment in the YouTube video. Also, in the next session, since I already have made the API calls, so now in the next session, I'll write a component under call this particular APIs and fetch the data and display on the UI. Okay, thank you. See you in the next video.